Okay, Friday morning in the kingdom, and Johnny should be over with the beer and the booze for the long weekend. Yes, it's the long weekend in August. That means summer's almost over. But also, too, I'm not convinced summer's over. I keep writing July. Yes, it's over. Summer. We only had 3 hot days this summer. Yes, out of the usual 5. All right. So this morning we woke up to plus 12, but feels like plus 11. Nice working temperatures. And then on the yo-yo scale, plus 54, but feels like plus 53. Yes, we find out that the grader's a 1953 with a 1953 UD16 motor. It took a while to get it started yesterday, and I blamed the wind. Yes, and the ex-wife and the ex-women in my life. Yes, the wind was unreal. How do people live in the wind? We're trying to give it a sniff of ether, and the wind blows it every which way but where it's supposed to go. And you can't hear anything. Unfrickin' real. This flag survived. It took me probably 20 minutes to untangle them, but that's a fact of life. Oh, I don't know if I could live where there was wind. I grew up in the south, and now I enjoy the north where there's no wind, but what, 1,001 mosquitoes? They should be joining me right now. All right, so today we're going to be doing loose ends on that motor, getting it buttoned up, because Saturday we start the project of the long weekend. There should be sun over here somewhere, but we have some cloud cover. I can't really see. We have a glare on the screen as usual. I do have my glasses on so I can actually see. All right, the staff will come at 1 p.m., so maybe we'll do some filming. Maybe we'll have that motor up and running because we got to set the valves and fix that leaky injection pump. Unfrickin' real. It just generates diesel fuel out the oil thing. Maybe we should patent it and sell it to the people of the world. Yes. Oh, yes. I can hear a helicopter farting around at the airport. It could be Dick. You never know. But you never know what he's up to. All right, we just about made the full rotation. And we're back at the flags. Look at that. Everything's looking good. All right, let's get to work. We got things to do. Plus, here comes the boss. Okay, this morning after morning coffee, I answered as many emails and comments as I could before I run out of time. I'm English, so I have set times to do everything and stay in the same routine. Okay, as you can see, there's a nice rain here. So we had this tarp off, we had the valve covers off, and I was setting the valves with the feeler gauge, yes. And then the rains came, so I had to rush on the last 2 cylinders to get it done. I wanted to videotape how I do it because I'm, how would you say, old school. I turn the motor over by the fan and do it 1 cylinder at a time. Up goes the valve, down goes the valve, and that's how we set them. We never do any valve adjustments or anything like that. We let it run for about an hour like we did yesterday, let it cool down overnight, and then do it cold in the morning, because you can't really set anything that's sat too long because the valves can be gummed up. You don't know how it ran back in the day. So having a good run yesterday made sense. And we're cleaning off everything here. So we have some hoses, some fittings, and everything to go back to the storage trailers. Slowly the back end of this truck is getting cleaned off. Okay, with that nice rain forecast, but it is Friday of the August long weekend, so rain is a normal thing. Okay, so what we did was clean off the workbench, get organized, so that's how we maximize our time outside. Yeah, it's just like being in jail. You get your 1 hour outside. Oh, how would I know? Okay, so this is the antifreeze we use. We get it through Sir Rodney. It is heavy-duty coolant, 50-50 mix, so that's all you need for the diesel. So the staff brought over 3 cases at 6 jugs per case, so that's 18. So basically that was 3 6-packs of beer equals 18 pack of beer. So we used all but 1, and we just used this one to top up, so it's about half full. So we let them drain overnight upside down in the box, and then we cut the tops off, just like Seinfeld and their muffin tops, if you remember that. Now they make good containers, yes, for putting parts in, because the days of, how would you say, having more money than brains or more money than women. Yes, because I used to spend my money foolishly on women. I was buying all these yellow things. So I've seen these things go from $2.99, I think it was, back 10, 15 years ago. I think they're right now on for about $6.99 Canadian. I checked it out. So I don't think we'll be ever ordering these again. But then again, we repurpose, reuse. We stroke out the name, put a card in front, and keep going that way. I think I have enough yellow boxes or trays or whatever for my retirement. All right, let's go have some lunch and check the forecast to see when this rain's going to stop. Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, and it's still a nice rain. We're collecting lots of water, which is good because I need to make some Kool-Aid to go with my vodka. All right, so we're hiding in the shop. Well, we're not going to be in the house watching the Olympics in Paris. That's some gong show over there. All right. Oh, wait, that's the New World. Okay, so after all these years, we've used the water pump pliers because the teeth spacing here is the same as this here. So now we are learning that we don't have enough physical strength because I'm an old guy to squeeze the pliers to, how would you say, tighten the ring. So we have a bunch of these injector plunger thingy me bobs. So let's weld this on here and make a wrench for these cap things here that seem to be leaking on us. Okay, so we went and found a wrench. It's a 1 11/16, which is oddball. So we die grind down the bumpy things to get a nice tight fit in here. Now we're going to take the Hobart Handler 100, crank it up, and we'll do some welds because we want to weld this collar thing to make the wrench into the wrench while it's still on the thing because we don't want distortion. Yes, it's like cooking in the microwave. All right, let's get to work. Okay, that was easy. I don't know why I didn't do this 20 years ago. Oh, wait, I wasn't that smart back then. Okay. That was easy. Put the big wrench on and turn it, and that was like twisting off a beer cap. Trust me, I know all about beer caps. All right, so this is a different style. Doesn't have the brass filter thing, and you can see the little rust boogers and stuff like that, which is normal. This is a TD18 injector plunger foo-foo thing. It says 18. The TD9s have the 9 written there. We're not sure what the UD16 will have. We'll have to investigate that later. But the main thing is it's part of learning. All right. So this is what happens to your plungers. Okay. So everything looks normal, but look at this. All right. Let's see if we can do it. Les Nessman doesn't move. No movement. Okay. Nothing. It's stuck. All right. So let's do the video showing how to get it unstuck. Okay. Use your Ford flathead spring compressor thing just like this. All you're doing is pushing down like that to get the keeper off right there. There's 2 screws right here, 1 on each side of the housing here. Use lots of paint marker, mark everything because you can't trust it. Because also too, you might be the 5th or 6th guy to take this apart in the last 80 years. So who said the last guy didn't put it together correct? So take lots of pictures, mark everything. So once this thing comes out, there's your fuel thing. All right. So this thing hooks into the notches there. I don't know if we can see that, Les Nessman. Oh, I'm becoming very good left-handed. So it locks into here. So when these teeth turn, it turns inside. All right. So everything is marked. Just to double check. And look at this, Les Nessman. That's the plunger that goes up and down to make fuel pressure. But it's kind of stuck. But yet it looks clean in here. That's called gumbo or gums up or whatever. So you just soak it down, take your time, and you can actually get it to come apart. Okay, that plunger wasn't too bad. All I did was give it a couple of love taps and then a little brass down in here, down the throat, for a little love tap too. All right, this is why you have to mark everything. This fits in here like that. See the yellow lines? Okay. So this thing is, how would you say, grooved or teeth. So when that turns on the rack, look it up here. See the difference in the area? So less fuel, more fuel. Less fuel. I don't know if we can see a little bit of the gumbo there. I tried not to clean it off or anything. It doesn't take much. It's like gum, a varnish or whatever. So I'll just clean this up with brake clean, reassemble, and I'll mark on it that I took it apart and cleaned it, but I won't put on if it works or not. Who said I did it correctly? Oh my. Okay, I reassembled the injector plunger thingy-me-bob, marked on it here. It's clean, not tight, missing lock ring. And we never use sandpaper or emery cloth or anything like that. These are gifted little battery brushes or something. The little brass teeth work good for cleaning up the pieces, you know, to get the debris or anything off. But that just goes to show you how tight the tolerances are on these injector plungers and everything like that. That's why we run the 2-stroke oil in the cats. We love it when they're smoking because then we know things are lubed up. With dry fuel of today's new world, that injector plunger thing will just jam up and seize. Well, you've seen that it was not much, just a varnish on it that caused it not to work. All right, let's get this injection pump apart and see if we can get the UD16 up and running. Okay, 3 o'clock coffee, and I can't stop because I got it all apart, and it looks like it's going to frickin' rain again. Yeah, it's just like yesterday, all over again. So we're charging the battery up here, and we have the 1500 watt block heater plugged in. Can you feel the heat, Les Nessman? You could probably hear it. Yeah, it's because we're warming the cylinder heads up to act like glow plugs. Yes, give it some warmth in the cylinder head. It should ignite and start better, but that's the joys of doing this stuff. Okay, so we got the injection pump all apart. We found out what happened. Okay, we got the quick change injector pumper things out, okay? And these are marked 16 on them, so that's for the UD16. So 9 for the TD9s, 18 for the TD18s. Appears this screw come loose. No idea. Probably when I was grabbing it in the vise, because I was grabbing it here above. You can't grab down here because that goes into a press fitting. I was grabbing it here, so most likely I loosened that by mistake. Oh well, just like when I said I do. Okay, the Me phone is censoring me. I did the startup video and it cut itself off. Yes, just when it was starting to run on its own. Okay, the UD16 has been running on its own for half an hour, and we got it running good. We adjusted the valves, we got everything going, gave it an oil change. Now let's drive it over to give it a pressure wash. Yes, a pressure wash. See how it's all covered in fuel. Okay, add the pressure washing video at here and with voom voom at the end, so everybody has to stay awake to the end. Okay, very pleased how it's running. Setting the valves and then let it run for an hour. That makes a big difference. But also too, we have to let it warm up and get happy because it's sat too long. And these injectors on the i8 are known for that. So you smoke, smoke, smoke. And then when you rev it up, it starts running funny, but everything has to get happy again. So this is what, the 4th time we've taken the pump apart. Hopefully that's the last time for a while. All right, but I'm very, very pleased. It's starting to run normal and act normal. So that's the way we do the cats and everything like that. I think there's over 20 motors we probably salvaged in the kingdom that were scrap metal seized, and we got them up and going without spending big bucks. Yes, without spending the money. But here we are with the 1500 watt block heater. Heats up the cylinder head because you're putting it at the back and it naturally flows forward. Everybody else puts block heaters up at the front here, well, which is pointless because all you're doing is heating the antifreeze in the rad. We want the back to start and it warmed going to the front, and that makes a world of difference when you go to start it. And the fact that we started it dry because we had the system drained or whatever, but we bleeded the injectors, so it did start. All right, so we're very pleased. And we have the return going back to the fuel tank. So when you put the fuel in, you can see the stuff splashing around or swooshing around. So that means that the 2-stroke oil fuel conditioner is getting mixed in. Plus it'll be warm fuel in the winter, so the grader won't be freezing up. All right, very pleased. So let's get some covers on this rad. We chased out all those drill holes or whatever, broken bolt holes, everything for the shroud on this side. And I think we have 3 here. And it's Friday, the long weekend, so the push is on to get it done, just to please the boss. He's such an asshole. Okay, the Hobart Handler 100 is performing well. I think I'm on number 1 for volts, V for victory, and 30 on wire speed. That's close enough for the girls I'd go with. So we have 3 bolts along the bottom. We got these ones, no problem. So you weld the washer on, then weld the nut on. The whole idea of this is to get heat into that stud or the broken bolt that's broken off. So over here, I showed you guys, I left this one here to show what we're doing. All right, seeing how there's a ridge right here, I put the washer up on the ridge because I don't want it to come around and hit the ridge and then it won't come off. Plus this is all cast, okay, so that means that my welds won't stick to it. So I can fill in this little gap here and booger it up pretty good and then put the washer on. Oh, these lips. Okay, put the nut on to get more heat. Now that I did 2 in a row with no dramas, I stopped to make a video and have some peanuts, so I got the burps. So now when I do this one, I'll probably break it off and end up drilling and tapping it out like ones we did on the inside here. Oh, but we want to get this done because it's Friday the long weekend and we have made plans. Okay, we're having to work a little overtime, but we got it done. We picked through the nuts and bolts and got the washers, the bolts, and lots of never sees. Yes, we got to make it look greasy and everything covered. So that's why I couldn't film, because I was just covered in never sees. So we got the shrouds back on. You can see my fingerprints from the never sees, but that's why we tap every bolt hole out. It works out good. We marked on here 1540 again, August 2nd, 2024. Plus it's time to 0. Yes, 0 degrees. And look at that, 3 for 3. Weld and weld and weld. The whole idea is the heat to go through the bolt, okay? And then you just take it out. And that's how we tap the holes out. It's one of those tapered taps or whatever. All right, so everything is never seized. The grill got on here. We took the hammer and beat on the bars to make it look good so it doesn't. Oh, look at all the never sees from my fingers. I was just covered in it, but that's the way you do it. And we got this shroud here. Somebody did this all in for some reason, no idea. So we straightened it out on the steel table, so that worked out good. And when you put these shrouds on, you always start on the inside bolt and then work your way to the top, because they're springy, they're never straight, they don't line up, so you have to fight and everything like that. Just like a marriage. And over here, we changed the oils, but we didn't change the filters. Yes, so we get some run time on it, and then we can do a complete service. Very pleased with this thing running. And didn't, I would say, have oil problems or whatever, but we got some blow by coming out here. I think we got to clean this thing here out because it's probably jammed up or goobered up. Very pleased, very pleased. All right, let's tarp it up, and then we can call it a day.
Friday morning in WHO-ville. It's just after 9 a.m. and I let the dogs out. As you can see, it is pretty sunny out here right now, but there is some clouds in the sky and a bit of a wind, which is nice, keeps the sandflies away. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 15 degrees Celsius, which is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. Now it's time to head inside, make breakfast, and then around 1 p.m. I'll head to the kingdom. Almost 1 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 15 degrees Celsius, which is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. As you can see from the video, it has started to rain. It's been raining on and off most of the morning. Now I'll head inside and let the dogs back in so they don't get wet. I was going to head over to the kingdom, but I'll wait till it stops raining so I can go see what my dad's up to. Forgot to mention, but this morning my little helper dropped off this bottle here. They were working on a dig in WHO-ville and they got down to the pipes and they found this bottle. It is the same one as they found last year in my yard when they dug up in the front here, but I think that is pretty cool. You can tell that they were drinking Orange Crush bottles back when they were doing the digs. 2 p.m. and I just got the quad out. It stopped raining for the moment, so I'll head up into WHO-ville and do the mail. Then I have to go to the kingdom and go grab a jerry can so I can go fill that up with some diesel for my dad. As I'm talking, I'm not sure if the squirrel's still hanging around here, but there was one. There he is. There's a little squirrel hanging around when I was getting the quad out. They are pretty small up here compared to the south. Now let's get going before I get wet. Just after 2 p.m. and I made it to the kingdom and dropped off mail. There was actually something in the mail today, so I'll head inside and do a little video of that. Right when I got here, it actually started to rain, as you can see behind me, so I'll head inside and do a little video on what came. I'm thinking it's another flag, but I guess we'll find out. Then I'll head down to the shop. Just opened up the package and it looks like I was right. There was another flag in there. Look how cool that one looks. And on the bottom you can see it says Maryland. Wow, that is pretty cool. Thank you so much, John. We're going to have to find a place to hang this up. 2:30 and now I have to grab the jerry can and run on back into WHO-ville and go fill that up with some diesel. So let's get going and see how much that'll cost. Just after 2:30, I made it back to the kingdom. This was the price of diesel. I got 23 liters at $1.65 a liter, and it was $39.18 in total just for that one small jerry can. Now I'll head down to the shop and see what my dad's up to. Was getting ready to leave the kingdom with my dog treats. My dad stopped me to ask if I could fill up the tires on the long trailer here. There is a lot of weight on it, so the last thing we want is the bead to blow. So I'm just going to air these two up quickly with our fancy little air tank. Almost 3 p.m. and I'm officially done in the kingdom. Didn't take me very long to air up the trailer. I just put enough in there so we don't break the bead on it. Now I'll head inside and grab my dog treats. My dad's just tinkering around on the motor here, so I'll go back and do the weather around 5 or so. 4:30 and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 18 degrees Celsius, which is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. It's actually not raining at the moment. The sun is shining, but it is pretty windy out here. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, we're done for the day. We only got rained on how many times today, but we survived. I got 5 gallons of water for you to make Kool-Aid. Yes, Kool-Aid. You got to drink that stuff with the vodka. All right, look at the skies. It's probably going to clear off and be sunny and nice for the evening so the sandflies and mosquitoes can eat you alive. Oh, look at the flags. Yes, the beginning of August long weekend. Let's begin. All right, we got to walk the dogs, make a video, drink some more beer, and we'll talk to you later.